welcome.
I've never got it so close.
We'll talk about it later. I got something to tell Mark. And look, I got my elbow, and nobody's here, man.
You know what I want to do too? I want to get a background, and I couldn't get it because I came late. I want to get a background with Mark sitting beside me. So it'll be like,
And then you say, wait a minute, Simon don't have his furniture in the back. Makeshift sign behind me.
Welcome everyone to another Warriors United show with your guest host, myself, Simon, and our buddies, Missing Mark, who is finishing up his European tour.
Yes.
So we are grateful to have you join us again for another fascinating show. So Simon, tell me, how was your weekend?
It was a great weekend. Actually, even though it was Simon's birthday, the 2nd of April, we celebrated it yesterday at his house. So we have family and friends over, and it was great. Yes, great, especially with the grandkids. They had me working out. The grandkids had me working out, but that's my zone. I love that part. But apart from the weather, a canceled Orioles game, then it was good. It's peaceful, quiet, but I'm good.
Yeah,
Mr. Dude, though, right? Miss Mark right here. But he should be back. I think he gets back on Wednesday. So, yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, Wednesday. Okay, great.
But the thing is, I don't think I'll be here next Monday, though. So.
Oh, you're missing next Monday.
Exactly.
Oh,
yes, mandatory.
You're gonna miss 2 Mondays ago with the Orioles game. You're not. Is it Orioles game?
Yes. If it was an early game, I'd make it. But they're playing the New York Yankees, so
Yankees.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, right. Your weekend.
my weekend was pretty solid. I'm trying to remember. Oh, I went to this conference. I joined a fellowship which has a pastoral conference once a quarter, and it was very interesting. It was very interesting. But I met some new guys. We have some new guests on the show because I met some new folks.
Oh, good.
That were very nice. And one of them actually has a radio show that was nominated by the Stellar Awards.
Okay.
Like, what?
Get him on.
Yeah, so he's going to jump on. I told him about our show. He's going to jump on our show one time and have us maybe, talk on his show. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, that's beautiful. So Let me make my little thing before we say. So we have people on already. So let me let you know that Warriors United for Christ every Monday, 7:30 till 8:30. We just want you to press the like button, the share button, and of course the subscribe button. We know that our subscribing people is getting bigger and bigger, and we appreciate everybody who's passing it on and actually taking part. So without any further ado,
bring the noise.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Which fans, which sport fans are better? The American sport fan, with our tariffs, or the European sports fans. Now, ladies, I want your opinion. Now, this is not, let's not say it's a man's conversation. It's not.
Exactly.
Because women love sports also. So
exactly.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So Simon, you are a European-born gentleman. I am pretty much the American raised. I came here when I was 2, so I'm going to consider myself an American-raised gentleman. Which sport fans are better?
Europe. It's not even a question. It's not even a question. I'm sorry, but when we say better, of course, that could be a broad, very broad discussion.
Of course.
Better because, of course, I'm going to get thrown at, well, what about the violence? What about they got flares and it's all dangerous and do that? But being myself, I've been to games. I know the atmosphere. I know the atmosphere in America, and with I can see where America is. Their soccer fans are trying to get there up, and I gotta admit they're getting better and better. But we don't need actually. I'll just say England. I know other countries do. We don't need drums, man. We,
Why not?
we don't need drums, man. No, let me say this. No. Mark invited me out, and we went to see DC United.
Right.
Okay, we saw DC United. So I'm waiting for some chance. Ain't no chance happening yet until that guy beats that drum. So, but wait a minute. Across the field, DC United fans had drum, and to my right side, the opposing team, all 125 of them had a drum. I'm hearing drums here, hearing drums there. It's like, what? No, I want to hear some songs. Sing something.
Let me give you the first of all, Tay, great question. Let's hit it. Let's talk about, okay. Let's put some ground rules. What do we mean by better? Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Let's put some categories. So let's say better attendance. Let's do attendance. Let's do better in atmosphere. Better with, let's talk. We got to deal with violence because violence.
Yes, of course.
Right. So we'll do that. And then let's get one more. So atmosphere, attendance, violence. Let's get one more thought.
Okay, we'll do attendance. Okay,
Loyalty.
we'll do attendance. Loyalty. Whoa, we'll leave the loyalty till last. We'll hit loyalty at 8:15. Attendance.
We're going to start with attendance.
Yeah, attendance.
Okay, now we do have to remember though. Okay, everybody, and please send your questions or your comments in. Let me do the American side of attendance because people tend, especially Europeans, tend to look at soccer.
Make sure you make it exciting. Make sure you make it exciting before Ken goes to sleep. Okay.
Ken needs to go to sleep. These sporty noses. He knows a little bit probably about football. Is about it.
No, that's not backyard. That's backyard. I'm sorry. No.
Right. So we're not going to get to attendance. So attendance-wise, most of us think, we talk about just pro sports. But when you look at high school or college, when you look at those sports, when you talk about attendance, literally you have 100,000 fans.
Yes, I agree.
In a football college stadium watching American football.
Yes.
You have hundreds of thousands of fans watching the girls' side of sports in some of these things, especially if the girls' team is decent, like South Carolina was. You have a full stadium. So we have great attendance, and we come out, especially like high school and college, but even pros. When you get those big stars, I have to put a preface. When you get those big stars playing, when you get LeBron James coming to town, we're solid, man. Solid. Come on. What do you got to say?
Let me tell you this. You may say attendance, but when you got a LeBron James or somebody and they going somewhere and they don't turn up, you tell me, how does that go? No. That doesn't happen in Europe. If you know they injured. And fans are still coming to the game. A lot of fans over here coming to a game because a certain player is playing. They either want to bump into him, get an autograph, or see him up close and get a shot or something like that. You get to the game, and they're not there. Come on, man.
It's not. Wait a minute. So are you telling me at all levels? They have great attendance?
No, nobody. Especially during the regular season when they keep saying they have sellouts. They don't have sellouts.
I'm talking about you got to talk about Europe. I'm talking about America.
Okay. All right then.
Do they have great attendance at the high school, the college level also?
High school and college levels, they don't have attendance like that. It's not like America. It's definitely not like America. The college things, you're hoping when you play for college, It's just a general atmosphere, attendance with friends and your school friends and everything. It's nothing compared to college here. College, it's like everyone in that college goes to the game and do what they do. As is when it comes to professional soccer. So that's when the attendance comes in. And of course, Premiership, League Championship, Division One, Division Two. I'm just talking about England right now because even like you have in Spain, Italy, France, all them countries in Turkey, every home game is like a sellout for them. It's like their whole country goes, and it's just a regular game. It's just a regular game. So for that part, yes, America, when it comes to college, yeah, you got that. You got hundreds of thousands. They don't sing a song, but they got hundreds of thousands. Yeah, when I say don't sing a song, wait a minute.
You're chanting and song. We're okay. On attendance, buddy.
You welcome.
We're on attendance. So
yeah. So yes. Okay. So if you're averaging an attendance in English Premiership football, you go in between 30 to 50,000. Okay.
And so that's the other thing with attendance. Are the stadiums smaller, right? Because in American football, you got stadiums up to 75, 80,000 people.
Exactly.
What's the average attendance? I don't. You may not know all of Europe, but let me know.
The bigger the club, the bigger the stadium. So you're averaging 50 to 60,000. 50 to 60,000, depending on the clubs. If you go into a final, FA Cup final or Cup final, it's I think it's 92,000 at Wembley Stadium. So
they don't use Wembley. Wembley's a special stadium, right?
Wembley's a special stadium, but there are other grounds that they don't have that much. But like your Man United's, like your Man City's, they have all them stadiums that are really, really crowded.
So, Mr. Producer, can you find out the average stadium size for an American football field versus the average stadium size for a European football, what they call football field? And let's see how that works out, because that's another point. You can pack a stadium of 50,000, but our average attendance might be 50,000 in an 80,000 per stadium. It looks like it's empty, but it's really packed.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. So attendance-wise, I think we love, and I guess when it comes to attendance, about the love of the sport, I think Americans love the sport as much as Europeans do. So with attendance, I will say at the younger level, we really show out where you guys don't. But probably at the older level, at the pro level, you guys probably show out better than we show out because of the fact that your attendance is.
But what I'm saying is no. Ain't no love of nothing here, right? No, I can't let that one slide. No, I understand what you're saying, because high school and college level, we're not. It's not there. It's like we're building up to be on the next level. So to play your sport and whatever. That I understand. Hands down, attendance for college, in basketball, in football, in America, yeah, it's great. The schools, all the schools the big schools that come out, yeah, they come out. I can't disagree with that one. I agree with that one. So, but yours starts early like that. As is a build-up.
Yeah, I think you guys in the pro level is better, but I also say it's because it doesn't make a difference if you guys are winning or losing. With American sports, winning and losing means everything. If you're losing, they're not going to come out. But if you're a good team, you may come out.
The bad sport for that is baseball, because at the beginning of the season, baseball attendance is not good at all. It's not good at all. Look, went to the Orioles opener, and you got 45,000 fans. The opener, you're playing the same team. 2 days later, it's down to 18. The next day, it's 18. Then the next game is 22. So I understand that with baseball, it's a gradual thing that goes. And if your team's not successful, come on, man. You see, 3,000 fans.
8 games. There's too many games. There's 168 games. So you have options there are a lot more options to go, right? I mean, in what in Premier League, what is 38 games?
38 Premier, 42 League Championship, and 48 Division One.
Right, and then and in football you have 16.
Yeah, but that's not adding
2. So
that's not adding cup games though. That's not adding.
Also plays a role because the tickets become a little more. You know what? I can go to a baseball game in 6 months. I'll get next month. People put it off. Right? You can't put off football, right? And I think that's why I say in the pro world, I think that Europeans have better attendance because again, they don't care if my team is playing. I'm going to the game,
and that's not even counting, of course. But see, football, it's 18 games now. So, and basketball, you go on the stretch, and it's indoors too. Football, I can see why it's a little bit more packed. And if you got a home game, it's going to be generally more packed than usual because you only have 9. Well, it will be now 9 home games for the season.
Oof.
And that's not counting playoffs. I understand.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So and then if you're losing, though, it's even worse in America, right? There's not a lot of teams, but you know what? I think we'll check off a draw.
Okay. No, I'll give that. Even I will give that. If you say in attendance, and you're counting college and that, I'll give that to America for attendance.
Yeah, attendance. We're talking about just attendance.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll give it a draw. If you want to give it, a America 5, I would give it a draw. If Mark is here, he'd be the deciding vote, but he's not here. Oh, they can get us our information? Okay. Okay, here we go. American football, NFL, and college. American football stadiums are built with the capacity for large crowds. Many NFL stadiums can seat over 70,000, and some college football stadiums can exceed 100,000. European football, and he said it's a soccer here, but I'm going to be real. European football stadiums can be large. They're generally not as large as their American counterparts. Average stadium capacities in top-tier European leagues range from 39 to 48,000. So the packed stadium, we might get 40,000 at a football game, but it doesn't look so big because there's 70,000 seats. So it looks like it's half full. But so I think that, but again, I would give it a draw for attendance. I
wasn't far off. I did say 30 to 55. Yeah, I wasn't far off.
You want to grab some comments while we're on this subject?
Yeah, go ahead. I see some of these comments coming up. I see some foolish comments, but anyway.
Let's see this. Now, this is Ken. It's such a great topic. He's sleeping. Okay, we got it. But he's sleeping. Something to do. We're going to keep giving him something to do. He'll be all right. Attendance.
But he did do something.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I wasn't saying nothing. Go ahead.
So attendance. So Talea, is it Talea, right? Talea.
Oh yeah, Talia. My bad. Whoop.
Talia. Sorry. Oh my God.
Talia.
Talia says. Sorry, Talia. I remember. Talia says attendance atmospheres goes to Europeans hands down. After my argument, do you still feel the same way, Talia? Let's see what come back.
She does.
Ken says, I will sit this one out. What has fans affect the results of any game? Bro, see, that's what it's. See, okay. Simon.
That's good one.
Simon, can we take this? Can we take this for a second?
Yes.
You were an athlete, were you not?
Yes.
I was an athlete.
Yes.
Can you tell me what happens to you as a player when fans begin to the chants or the encouragement? What is that? Does that do nothing for you?
From then until now, because we got grandkids. When you're on a soccer field and you're playing soccer, or when we was playing cricket, when I played cricket, and you're playing, then all of a sudden you hear a chant, and you hear your name, or you hear your team. It's like, oh my gosh. It gives you this kind of inspiration. It gives you that kind of, I can't let my my people down. I don't care whether they 5, 10 or what, but they're here to support you. And then when you hear your name, and I agree with American commentators when they say the 12th man. Yes, the 12th man. And of course, that's
for football.
for football, yes, it counts, and that's what I'm saying. Sometimes atmosphere counts,
It's a
and
big.
adrenaline that it can give a player. Go ahead, go ahead.
Only people who don't have never played sports can makes that comment.
Mm.
The reason why guys pound that chest where that symbol is, or grab it like that and tell everybody, is because they're acknowledging the fact that all my fans got me here. They're
Yeah.
pushing me. Yeah, I'm doing this one for you.
Mm.
I'm doing it for you because the worst thing to be is an athlete in a stadium that's quiet. That's the worst possible. This is not golf. Only in golf do you want to be quiet. When I used to play sports, man, they used to have this chant, and I can't say it because there's some bad words in it.
Yes.
They used to do this chant. And I was like, yeah, I would get all pumped up because it was for me.
Exactly.
I couldn't disappoint those folks. When the chant stopped, that's when I said, oh, I'm not playing well. I got to pick it up. When they're chanting, man, I know some folks are on here going to say some stuff about that statement.
No. Ken gonna lose this one because I remember I was coaching, helping my daughter Sabrina coach a volleyball team. They were playing the number 1 volleyball team, Pikesville. Okay. My daughter's team was number 5. They weren't that good, but my daughter asked me to come and talk to the girls. We talking, we playing. Soon as they started to get points and winning, I'm turning around saying to their fans, stop clapping, chanting, stomp your feet, make some noise, do something. They started doing that. Slowly, the game starts to change because for the next 20 minutes, the girls believed in themselves that, oh, we could do this. And it just changed the whole thing. And the other team were getting kind of upset. Not with the noise and everything, is that they started to make mistakes. So fans, the noise you make, the atmosphere, it helps a whole lot for a home team and even for an away team. No, when I say away team, I'm talking about Europe because we separate the fans. So when you hear them and you look over and you see thousands of away support, that lifts you up too, because you're like, oh, they came all this way just to come see us. Go ahead.
Yeah. You know what? We forgot to tell everybody. We're Christian brothers who come and talk with us. It even works in church when you're preaching.
Yes.
The reason why African American preachers like to hear somebody say amen and hallelujah is because it just gets you going. And I know this for a fact because I remember one time my sister, not Debbie, but Maisie was preaching someplace and it was quiet. And so she was just going through the motion. So I just said, you know what? Let me just start giving her some backing. So when she was, I say, yeah, yes, amen. Come on, preacher. All of a sudden, you saw her energy level go up. And she started really laid out there where everybody was saying something. After the service, she said to me, thank you, Pastor, because I know what you did. And I did.
Yes, I do. And before Ken starts texting, we know that there's preachers out there who are professional. Let's make some noise and let's get them started. Oh, yeah. and don't mean a thing. Yeah. As long as you got cheerleaders in the crowd or whatever, and you just pump them up. Hey, look, it's on both sides, sir.
We heard it before. You've seen preachers who come and don't say much, but they get the crowd going because they know the little cliches to say, and that crowd gets going, and they seem like they've done a whole bunch. We've been there. We've been there,
and they're not even really saying something. So we get the Kens. So Talia says they absolutely kill us when it comes to international football. When it comes to college, yeah, sure, but professional. Yeah. So I agree with that. Yes. I'll just let you know, Talia loves English soccer. Oh. She watches English football a lot.
He's a traitor. Let's go. What is Jason? What is Jason?
Hey, he's just saying, it's not Golden State. He's not saying Golden State.
Oh, he's not saying Golden State. He's saying us. Oh, hey.
Yes.
All right.
Give the brother some slack, man.
She says, I am American born and bred, but I have to go with Simon. Yeah, no, you can go with him. but
Yeah,
we
go
can't
ahead.
achieve it.
Hey,
So
wait a
you
minute.
gave us the plus. So I guess she said we get the plus then. All right, thank you, Dolly.
No. Mark has his fans. It don't matter what Mark does. They're gonna say hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark. How you doing? Okay, wait a minute. Where are we?
Where are
Okay,
we?
here we go.
Hey, Warriors.
It's
So Wolf.
only NBA that is poor and player attendance. America is NFL. Now, I don't know about that, Mr. Wolf,
You're
because
gonna get feedback.
yeah, again, sports-wise, I get pro, up and down, but college and high school, it doesn't make a difference. You have some diehard fans there. Oh wow. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. John Wolf is causing trouble.
Yes, he is.
Uh-oh.
You have to give me some proof here. Some proof.
Uh-oh.
Are you talking about because they may be big and strong, 250, and can run 40 yards, a 40-yard dash in so-and-so seconds and whatever? Put that same player on the soccer field, bro. Let me see what happened.
This is a tough one.
It is tough.
The best athletes
I don't know about that.
in the world play American football. If that was the case, right? If that was the case, why are so many people from other countries dominating in some of the other American sports?
Mm-hmm.
You have an NBA, probably basketball players are probably the best athletes. When it comes to the sports in America, you're probably looking at basketball players. Because
I wish lacrosse is lacrosse professional.
there's professional lacrosse.
Because
That's a very athletic sport too, but it's also somebody like Jim Brown dominated in lacrosse, but he was really a football player. So when it's a tough juggle, but what I would say is that there's a lot of other countries being able to play basketball, baseball. It's influx of multiple countries. Some of the biggest players were from South America. One of the biggest players was from Japan.
Cuba.
Right, Cuba.
Yeah, they love that.
We're
Yeah.
talking about boxing, right? World sport. So when you look at it, is American football players the best athletes? I don't know. I don't know, because you have some phenomenal athletes in football. Then you have some phenomenal athletes in soccer. But I mean, no one criticizes Ronaldo. When you can see what they can do with their feet, that's athletes. When you see a guy who can run at full speed and flip a ball left and right and get tripped up, look at Messi. He gets people knocking his legs over and right, but he stays on his feet. That's athletic.
Yeah, even though in all sports are changing, they're getting softer. But like rugby players, come on, man.
Oh yeah.
Hit and run. Come on, rugby players. It's true. And even though it's on ice, but ice hockey, you have to be fit.
And
Even though you're not up for the whole time, but you're on and off because the speed that you have to go, and you keep coming on and off. So, hey, look, it's a debatable thing for everybody in the whole world to say who got the best athletes. But
yeah.
Mm.
Okay, Larry. I love sports. Hey, Larry's with us and against Ken. Woo!
We missed you, Larry, for 2 weeks. We missed you.
Larry, all right, my brother.
Ken don't know nothing about sports, Larry. He don't know nothing but cricket. Sorry. Larry. Talia, yes.
Yeah, I do. So I watch both. Yes, Tyler, I appreciate you.
Well, so that was attendance. So what we're going to talk about? What atmosphere now? Okay.
You know what? You want to give your spiel first?
Is he trying to put politics in this?
Yeah, I just ignored.
Is he trying to put politics?
You want to do your little spiel before we go on?
Yeah. Look, we appreciate those who are on or that may need watch it later on during the week or whatever. But continue to press like, share, and subscribe, it please, because we appreciate everybody that comes on. And we know this is a sports show, so the attendance might not be a little bit high, but if you know something or you disagree or what, come on, because this is just our opinions.
We're having
like,
fun.
Just like he said, we having fun. We Christian brothers who having fun. So keep it clean.
Amen.
You're welcome.
No. Oh, so wait. So what's the second one? What's that next topic? We said atmosphere.
We said atmosphere.
Okay. Now, I will bring this up because maybe this is an American thing. The band, especially in the historically black colleges and universities, the band plays, and that's why you got these drums, because the band is going off. You don't get an atmosphere when you start hearing that quad drum, and you hear that, and you start seeing the crowd. Oh, it's electrifying. It's electrifying.
Anyway, as you went on that little outburst of excitement and joy,
I tried.
I just remember there's just something about the chants and the singing when I'm just going to use just for now, when there's like 20,000 people chanting or singing a song. So you can have a song, but they change the words to fit the players or their football team. And then you start singing that, because I've seen many times someone say, who starts this? It's so easy that someone will sing that song or the words, and then within 3 minutes, half the stadium will be singing that song. That's how catchy it is in Europe. And I'm not saying British fans are the best, but when you see Italians, the Spanish, Turkey, when they jumping up and down, their flags are waving, and they got this loud chant. I'm telling you, that atmosphere is off the chain. And you, next minute, you know, you're looking, and next then you start you start jumping. You don't even know a word they're saying. You don't even know a word, but you like the tune, and it gets it in your head, and you start humming and chanting. Atmosphere is off the chain. Ask some of the basketball players who went to Europe to play. Ask them.
Yeah, I will have to. I tried, but the atmosphere for me, I will give Europe, South America, all these other countries atmosphere, because it is, for even just what I watch and what I see, the atmosphere is phenomenal, and it just makes watching the game live even better. Watching a sport live is important, and there's nothing like it.
Yes.
You go to a sport, you watch it on TV, it's one thing, but when you go to sport live, it's incredible. And atmosphere, man, when you go to a certain games and the atmosphere, just looking at some of these games, like you said, the flags waving, it looks like, man, they're having a party. And they're there like hours
Yes.
before the game starts.
If the kickoff is at 3:00, they're there like 1:00, 1:30, and it's not just they all gather together. Because I don't know how it's done here. Because I'll just go with the Orioles. I know that they have a pub that they meet, Pickles. Okay, before the game, that's one pub that they all go out there. But I know that I can just speak for myself. They would all meet at pubs. Then they all start walking to the ground. You hear chants, you hear songs going on, and whatever. But of course, like you said before, some of the chants, yeah, you got to block them out because it's not all nice words. But all the songs, even when they sing "Ole, ole, ole, ole," so over here you can sing that. But that's the only thing you'll say. In Europe, they'll add something on it. And let me say, okay, so I work at the Orioles. I'm trying some experiments here. So I'm trying to lead, instead of chants, let's try and sing a little verse of a song. Man, if I try and do that for a month, I'm going to come in here like Santa Claus Gray. Because it's just not, we're trying to watch baseball, man. Oh, come on, what are you doing? But a lot of them are enjoying it because I'm trying to pump up the crowd. But it's just like pulling teeth. And one thing I've always said is singing the national anthem. It would be great, especially for the players, just to hear a whole stadium singing the national anthem and believe what they're singing.
At the end of it, we say, "And the home of
yeah, the last everybody knows that line. Well, at the Orioles, they do have a little chant. Oh, say, can you see? No. And then say does. So that's historic. Yeah, so it matches in the stadium. That's one thing they do.
But Eagles do the Eagles chant EAGLES.
Yeah, but wait a minute. How long is a football game?
Hey man, look, I already gave you atmosphere. I don't.
I mean, I understand the chants.
Try.
But for the whole, it's like, come on, let's do something different. But it's not happening. It's not happening. And when we all go, you, myself, and Mark, and Simon, hopefully Eric too, we can go to an English soccer game. I don't care which one it is.
I'm excited.
You'll see.
No, I know, man. I know. Let's hit some more of these questions. Time is going.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to address this because it's important. So speaking of tariffs, I'm going to end it right there. It's going to mess up sports because now when the USA goes to certain countries, oh my God, you are going to hear all sorts of songs. I'm sure they're already creating them.
Yeah, but
the tariff thing.
And you know why it's affecting? Because Orioles just played Toronto Blue Jays, and of course you have to play the Canada national anthem and the American. So when they started the national anthem, there was a few boos, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Yeah, when they're playing the Canadian national anthem, there was a few boos, and I'm thinking, you know where that came from? This competition now between Canada and America, it ain't got nothing to do with sports. This is just personal stuff, and you're looking around and going, oh, come on, man, we got to do better. So yes, Ken's question, why do you think they're on and off now? Yeah, whatever. Wow.
So Larry, that we talked.
I agree.
Make you feel like Superman, bro.
Thank you, Larry. He came out of his comfort zone and said, so, "Yes."
Yeah, that's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Make you feel like Superman. Amen, Rupert. Amen. I think I don't think some of my things, but I don't know. Here's my sister saying, "Pastor, I heard you." Yes, she did. And we're talking about when I was pumping her up, and she started to take off. You know,
really? What was she playing?
Huh?
What was it? What was she playing?
She was preaching.
Oh, beautiful.
She was preaching someplace, and the crowd was kind of quiet. They weren't giving her any feedback. So I just begun to open up my mouth, and suddenly she began to get the energy. We're talking about, just fans. You get. There is a reason why fans are at games. When the bubble was the bubble, it wasn't really great basketball.
Exactly. The atmosphere always different. Oh, I can add. Oh, come on, Mr. Wolf. Let Lamar Jackson grow up and train soccer his entire life and tell me he doesn't dominate. It's not something like dominating. Plus, his physical stature is totally different than a soccer player for a start.
One, he would have to change how he would change his look. He wouldn't be the way he looks.
No.
And the football field wouldn't translate to soccer.
Yeah, and I understand his speed. I really do understand that. I understand you also said if he grew up and trained as a soccer, but
no, he's a good athlete. He's a great athlete.
Oh, he's a great athlete. Of course he is. But speed alone.
Neymar Jr. If you trade Neymar Jr. in baseball or in basketball or in football, he would have been a great receiver. So,
but speed alone in soccer, it's not going to make you great. I'm sorry.
Look at Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt said, "I wish I could play soccer like you guys." And again, with athleticism, it translates. But we cannot say that these guys are better athletes than these guys for the exact same reason that John just brought up. What did you train in?
Exactly.
There are boxers who trained in boxing all their life, but are still great athletes because they could have played other sports. So,
and give much respect for every athlete in their individual sports, whatever they playing, because that's what you zoom in on. Even though there's a few people like Bo Jackson played two sports, Michael Jordan played two sports, he knew that. I think I'll let the baseball go. I'll stick to basketball.
So
I mean, Michael Jordan. Sorry, Michael Jordan. My bad.
this is a good thought. So international football is a larger field and the players have to run the entire time. Well, they don't. American football, you stop when someone is tackled, interception, TD. Let me see one of our guys run for 90 minutes. Sorry, but not. Well, that's a good thing. But let me see somebody run and get tackled for 90 minutes 20 times a game. And I see that soccer player is going to love it either. I think again, you look at semantics. The football field and soccer field they're only about 20 yards difference. But in hockey, they don't stop running. In basketball, they don't stop running. They play the whole entire time. Well, they do stop when he gets sub for. I will give endurance to soccer because you do have to have good endurance, but they don't run 90 minutes. Don't get it fooled. The defense when the ball's on the offensive side is not running around.
It's different, and trust me, they are fit because even though you do your burst of speed, you got to be moving all the time. Defense, and then of course, it's 45 minutes continuous in one half, and then of course, when you play the second half, it's another 45 minutes, and then God help you when you got extra time, which they're trying to make it different now.
And you really can't sub, right? You really can't sub.
Exactly. So now you have 5 or 6 subs in soccer now. It's like hockey, you continuously subbing. Basketball, you can sub, and you can sit out for 2 to 4 minutes before you come back in. So, and football, you continuously sub.
You can sub
except for certain players. Yeah.
And there is stopping. But sometimes it's harder to stop and start than it is to go continual. I
think you got endurance.
You got to get yourself fit for the stopping and starting because there's a difference when you exert energy versus when you just slow it down a little bit and jog. That's why you'll see some players always kind of moving in soccer because they don't want to just stand there because the restart's going to be a little bit more difficult.
I think lacrosse is endurance too.
Lacrosse could be endurance. But again, in rugby, it's another sport you got to think of, man, because you're going to hit everybody.
And then you got to get up and then make a tackle yourself.
Oh, my Lord. Okay.
Oh, let me read this one. Wait a minute. Let me read this one. Thank you, Simone. American sports has gotten soft.
Uh-oh.
I have to say. Well, she says I have to, and she watches sports. I have to say, watching the crowd in England chant growing up, they don't need a band. All people laugh out loud. You hear that, Rupert? They don't need a band.
But that's been the way we've been. We have been bands. That's just what America does. You name the activity, there's a band. It just, either way.
We know that we can win. We gotta know that we're gonna win. We know that we're gonna win. Come on, man.
Atmosphere. Europe. We got it. What's the next one?
What did we say?
Violence.
Oh, yeah, so, okay. I knew growing up, we got, 15 minutes? Now, I knew growing up, football hooligan, well, I'm still being called a football hooligan, but football hooliganism was off the chain, me knowing that growing up. The very first football game I went to when I was 10, I had permission to go, but I had to go with an adult. And then we had nets separating fans. So those who don't know, in England, and I know that also in European soccer teams, fans are separated. You can't walk in the same. You can't have a Yankee fan sitting next to an Oriole fan or anything like that. So you're going into a section where, all your fans are, and the home fans have the majority. But I'm walking in, I'm looking around. Of course, I'm awed. Standing next to these Leeds fans, but there's a net, a big net up there. Why was there a brick in the net coming? It didn't get through, but it's thrown at, and I said, Mr. Allen, please don't tell my mom and dad, please, because they won't let me come again no more. But apart from that, of course, in England and in Europe, Russian exactly, they had gangs, they had professional gangs and hooligans who'd go out, and that's all they would do. Now, I can say now, football's different because, of course, cameras. These cameras zoom in on these people, and they will go get them. All during the week they go get these hooligans. So I think hooliganism has gone down, way, way down in football now in England. So it's more safer and more chance that go along. So I'll give credit for English for that because they are still trying. I'm not saying they don't fight no more. I'm sure they do, but not as much as they did before. Now I know here there's only a certain amount of fans that won't do something.
We do have a couple stadiums with jails in them, like the Philadelphia Eagles. They used to have a jail stadium, but there's not too many.
No,
and usually they're drunk. It's not. I mean, usually that's part of the reason why there's issues. But I would have to say we don't have much time. We want to get some more of these questions and big subject to talk about. Loyalty. I think violence is definitely more on the European side than on the American side.
Because the violence, and I'm not saying I'm 100% correct, but the violence they had, they felt like they were representing their club. So they didn't want to punk out, and someone's chanting against your club. I was like, oh no, you can't be doing that. And then they'll go back, and that's where there's less of that now, so it's more of cheering in the crowds and singing abusive songs to each other or whatever. So, and of course, in America, working at the Orioles, cursing is not allowed. Anyone has a curse, anyone starts cursing, you have to let them know. Any more of that, sir, you got to go or calm down. So I know in all the stadiums, they try and do that. So I understand that part. But it's a culture thing. Because you can't do that. Say you can't give that red card to an English fan or something. Say stop your cursing. Because if they do that, 25 people will start cursing at you, singing a song for you, and you don't know.
Yeah. That's the problem. You guess what? That's why you still have the nets, you still have the fences, you still have this. And you're talking about European places like Germany.
Now them, worse. Turkey. Lord have mercy.
Oh, so. Yeah, let's get to a couple of these things. The singing for international football is the truth. Yeah, I got to give it to them, man. They do some great chanting.
But you know what's coming up? The World Cup is coming up. You will find out when the World Cup comes up and the singing of the national anthems. You'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, it may not mean nothing, but it does help when the players hear you singing your national anthem.
So here, Larry wants us to talk a little about tariffs.
Bye.
Yeah, here's tariffs. They stink if you don't do them right. Okay.
Next question. Welcome.
Oh, Debbie, both my sisters are watching tonight. Okay, America. Debbie is a sports fanatic. I will tell you this, except for track. That's why the superpower is a multi-billion event.
Well, when you say American fans, without question, what American fans? What are you talking about?
I think she's and she can speak for herself. Put it there, Deborah. But I think she's speaking to the fact that she's looking at dollars.
Oh, okay.
But we can't compare dollars to European football. You have teams of soccer players that make the highest paid players are normally European footballers. Even Messi came to this country when he's in his 40s, still making millions of dollars, $120 million at the age of 40 to play soccer, and he only plays like 20 minutes. So
talk about dollars. And when Messi did come over here, how many of his countrymen and all those in Europe who live in America up the gates because he was coming over? Yeah. But there's one thing you did say, and we can go to the next question that you said earlier on before we got on the show was, wait a minute. Do the next question. I just went out of my head because you did say something.
But she said she meant Super Bowl, not superpower.
Go ahead. Next question.
Yeah, she said Super Bowl, not superpower. Yeah, Super Bowl, again, it makes billions of dollars, but so does FIFA World Cup. So does the FA Cup. Makes millions of dollars. That's just one little country's FA Cup. You have the Champions game, and football and soccer is a little bit different, right? American football, you have a playoff system, where European football, most football, has a point system. So you don't have a Super Bowl game you have a point system where you crown a champion.
Yes, I'm going to give you that. The Super Bowl is probably getting more and more popular with other countries. But when the Super Bowl final is on, the FA Cup, and the ones he's talking about, all the other cup finals that's going on, are 3 times more popular than what the football is on. There's way more people watching them tournaments. So thank you,
David. With this one. I would like to, because we're going to talk about loyalty. We're going to talk about loyalty.
Oh, I know what we're talking about. Wait, before I forget. That's what you say, loyalty. When you leave your place to go to another place. That's what you said before. Go ahead.
Right. It's where it comes, right? Plus, American fans supports all the sports of their city. Untrue. Europe has like what, 2 sports? Now she's pulling your legs out of it. I just pulled your leg. That's what 2 sports.
You know, Deborah, let me tell you this. I might get a few Jamaican more supporters come on here. Look, cricket is more popular than baseball over here. In the world. Trust me, cricket. They may think it's boring, like they think baseball may be boring, but cricket in the world is more popular and a better attendance than what they have here in America. I'm sorry, I said it.
Let's we have a couple minutes. Let's talk about this loyalty thing, because I think that's important. This is really where the rubber meets the road, right? We were saying on the off show, we were saying that when you live, I'm a perfect example. I live in New Jersey, grew up in New Jersey, but my favorite basketball team is the 76ers, not the Nets. My favorite football team is not the Giants, it's the Dallas Cowboys. My favorite baseball team is the Yankees. That's the only one I got right is the Yankees. And my favorite soccer team is Manchester United in a different country. So we don't stay in our cities or states or towns. We love the team that we love, regardless. In Europe, it's a little bit different. Explain, please.
It's not just loyalty. It's just like it's like you eating food, and you can't get. You just need that team. In other words, like he was saying, I was raised up in Birmingham. I'm a Birmingham City fan, and I'm a bit sad right now because they just lost a Wembley Cup final right now. But all my life, I got blue and white. I come to America. Okay, I want to support the team here. They had the Orioles, so I might jump on whether they were good or bad. They didn't have the Ravens then, but once the Ravens came in, I'm a Ravens fan. So loyalty for me, and I know British fans too, is where you are at that moment. And look, your team could suck. I mean, your team could really suck, but you still wear their shirt, and you still wear whatever. You may have a second team on your mind, but you still wear that shirt. And even though they don't have great attendance or whatever with the smaller clubs, you're still wearing your shirt and loyalty. So for me, you die is extreme, but you live and die for your team. And you'll hear Europeans say that no matter what. And don't say nothing bad about their team because they will say something, not necessarily fight or say something, but it's just their lifestyle. There you go. Yeah. It's a lifestyle, and it's a part of it.
Yeah, you will rarely see somebody talk negative about their team in the city they grew up in. They may say we're not doing well, but they will rarely say something about they still will love their city's team. In America, you have so many fans. I mean, Dallas Cowboys used to be called America's team because there were fans from all around that love Dallas. Mm-hmm. You talk about the 49ers. Excuse me. You got fans all across the country who love the 49ers. You got fans all across the country that like Pittsburgh Steelers. You got, when you talk about basketball, you had to say they will wear the jersey because they like the color of the jersey.
Yes. And that's why you got so many New York Yankees. That's why you got so many New York Yankee hats, because they like the color and the emblem.
I'm wearing black and red today, so I'm wearing my Chicago's Bulls hat. Oh, I'm going to wear gold and blue, so today I'm wearing my Golden State Warriors hat.
Because he
You
matches the
don't see
outfit.
that in Europe.
No,
That ain't the thing.
no,
You're not going to see a Man City fan wear a Manchester United hat because he's wearing red that day. You
No.
guys see it.
but see, wait a minute. But that's where the competitiveness of buying your clothes now. So you'll have a Man City red hat, even though their teams. So they're making different colors now, and because of course more and more females in the soccer, they got their colors too, and they want to match up their outfits with the colors. So it's in all sports is different now. They wear any kind of colors, but loyalty. I understand. There's a lot of. I mean, when I see the Oriole fans, people come in game after game. They're wearing paraphernalia from head to toe, and they're gonna wear it because they love their team.
Oh man. Okay, we got 3 minutes.
Woof.
Let's hit these questions. Okay. Real preachers may not need cheerleaders. Just saying, not cheerleaders, brother man.
They're not cheerleaders.
They're not
No,
cheerleaders.
sir. What church you go to?
Palms.
No.
He is a
No.
fan.
What church you go to, Larry? Come on, stay on board, man.
So you was good until you got there. He was all good today.
Yeah.
You messed up right there. Good job.
If European fans were more violent than American, that makes them worse in that regard. Huh? Fans getting violent in general is unacceptable, and I've seen plenty of it with American teams fans. I agree with you, John, that violence is not. Look, I totally agree with you that violence is not. I've been there, I've seen it, and I know what happens about it. So I agree with you. It's not, and so
it's not.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's not.
No. So
If
that's for
you were
you.
born in New Jersey, you might be more loyal to New Jersey teams. Not true.
But
Deborah,
that's
you
my point.
know better, Deborah. You
No,
got
but-
Cowboy fans. You got San Francisco. I rarely see a Giant fan when I'm talking to my friends. Rarely. Oh,
But Deborah's proving my point here. In England, wherever you were born, that's your team.
but that's what I'm saying. But she's saying you're that you might be more loyal, but you're not. You're not more loyal, Debbie. Let's get to this one. Over 2 billion people in the world watch cricket. Over 3 billion watch basketball. That's because China just started to watch basketball, Deborah. You're coming into Chinese basketball, but before Chinese started to watch basketball, it was mainly cricket was bigger. Even rugby was bigger than basketball.
Does she want to be a new fact checker? I mean, she fact checked that one.
Watch football, right? If you want to compare, right? How many people?
She's not doing it.
Football.
She's not doing it. Fact check that one, Ken. Can you do that? How many people watch football and how many people watch English football in general? But anyway,
soccer, 3.5 billion fans. Oh, here it is. Most popular sports by fans. Soccer, 3.5. Cricket, 2.5.
What's it?
Field hockey, 2 billion. Tennis,
Field
1
hockey.
billion. Volleyball, 900 million. Table tennis, 850 million. Baseball, 500 million. Golf, 450 million. Basketball is only in America, 400 million. They have no other countries in there. American football, 400 million across the world.
Table tennis is higher than baseball. Come on, man.
But basketball, well, higher than baseball, but they only included America and Japan. They didn't include South America, which would jump that number up.
Exactly.
In basketball, they only had America.
Oh, we over time, man. We over time. We're having so much fun. We might have to have a part 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Woo! It's already over. Oh, Mark's going to kill us.
Yes, he is. My bad. He'll kill me because I'm not going to be on next week. Hey, look, we enjoyed it. Hey, that was fun. Appreciate everyone coming on. We love you all. We're going to continue to watch the Warriors United for Christ. We appreciate you, and we'll say 2 words for you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
All right. Oh, my gosh.